Hi, Smiles, Red Michelle Birdsong, Eve, mother of all living, daughter of the sun. This is part 2. Eve says, Will Smith divorce Delilah? Jada. Will Smith has being in a parallel life as Cicero. His writings include books of rhetoric, orations, philosophical and political treatises, and letters. He is remembered in modern times as the greatest Roman orator and the innovator of what became known as Ciceronian rhetoric. What did Cicero accomplish? Will Smith, as Cicero, introduced the Romans to the chief schools of Greek philosophy and created a Latin philosophical vocabulary, distinguishing himself as a linguist, translator, and philosopher. An impressive orator and successful lawyer, Cicero probably thought his political career his most important achievement. I see Will Smith as being perfect as President of the United States. He's comfortable with a diverse population of people, he being good people. Will Smith has being as Thomas Aquinas, an Italian philosopher. Thomas Aquinas was an Italian Dominican friar, philosopher, Catholic priest, and doctor of the church. An immensely influential philosopher, theologian, and jurist in the tradition of scholasticism. He is known within the latter as the Doctor Anglicus and the Doctor Communis. Quotes by Thomas Aquinas, now being Will Smith. Reason in man is rather like God in the world. Indispensable, says Eve. The things that we love tell us what we are. Eve says, we become who we love. There's nothing on this earth more to be prized than true friendship, said Thomas Aquinas, being as Will Smith. To one who has faith, no explanation is necessary. To one without faith, no explanation is possible. A man has free choice to the extent that he is rational, has good sense, says Eve. The three things are necessary for the salvation of man: to know what he ought to believe, to know what he ought to desire, and to know what he ought to do. Jesus Christ, being as Charan Singh said, do what you feel. Psalms 16:11, King James Version of the Bible. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. Jesus Christ, being as Charan Singh, being as Govinda Singh Dhillon, being as Baba Jamal Singh, founder of the Dera Baba Jamal Singh, RSSB. RSSB, Radhaswami Singh Birdsong. This is a picture of Singh Birdsong, who as being a Sardar Bahadur Jagat Singh, appointed master by Sawan Singh, Singh Birdsong's other father this life, Michael John Spear. Jagat Singh, Singh Birdsong, appointed Charan Singh master. Singh Birdsong, being Will Wright, was a projection of Jesus Christ, Charan Singh. Will Wright was Mild Red Michelle, Mary Magdalene's other father. Jesus Christ projected himself as Mary Magdalene's mother, Miss Frog, and as her father, Brother Wright. As Miss Frog, Miss Frog modeled working manual labor, grueling job from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. with two 15-minute breaks instead of being the mistress of a doctor and living a life of ease, which she could have done. Mary Magdalene Minnow ran away from home. This is my Red Michelle Birdsong. At age 16, she returned to the land of her birth, Chicago. Soon a pimp and his whore, dressed like movie stars, tried to tempt the young girl into joining them and becoming the pimps of the whore. W.H. for who ordered, E for Eve. Who ordered Eve? Mother. W for world, H for heaven, as O for ordered, O-R, and E for Eve. The world as heaven ordered Eve. But Mary Magdalene was being as her mother. Mary Magdalene is also Eve, and her mother was no whore. And when the pimp, egged on by the whore, beat the whore, Mary Magdalene knew she wanted no part to play in their game. I'll shame myself, then blame myself, then lay guilt on myself, then you, my pimp, this run of this play will punish me. I, Mary Magdalene, pass up being a whore. Run of this play is I-S, hell, H-E-L-L. Even after I married years later, I worked as hard as my husband, Edwin Birdsong, rather than be a mistress, a whore, as a wife. He needed an image. I spent hours plaiting his afro, embroidering stars on his clothes. He needed lyrics. I wrote his true new lyrics. Edwin became close friends with Stevie Wonder after Stevie felt Edwin's plaits on his head and heard his new and true songs on our album, What It Is. You'll look at a picture of it. Stevie sang on his song, I Just Called to Say I Love You. What it is oh so new. What it is oh so true. Edwin and Steve were friends for nearly 50 years after What It Is came out and blew Stevie's mind. Mary, M for Mary Magdalene, I-N-D for train of thoughts. Jesus Christ being as my mother modeled, having a work ethic which I copied, which got me a role as a lyricist this life, having been as lyricist Ira Gershwin, work Porgy and Bess, the only black opera. And what's this? Currently being composer of that opera, George Gershwin. Currently being a sing Birdsong. Projection of Jesus Christ. Libretto written by Arthur DuBois Haywood, not alive. Lyricist Ira Gershwin being as Mallory Michelle Birdsong. And then on the musical, The Sound of Music composer, Richard Rogers being as Sing Birdsong, and little sis Oscar Hammerstein Jr. currently being as Mary Magdalene Maria Michelle Birdsong. Psalms 16:11 in the Bible. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. In the presence of the Most High God, the Son, and His Son, Jesus Christ, being as Gurinder Singh Dillon. Both my father, husband, and my brother, mother, father, husband gave me babies. The twins I am not carrying without touching me. Thou wilt show me thy path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. In thy right hand there are pleasures for evermore. O are for stories of energy vibrate that Earth Mother, her ordered story, story of Eve. I'm feeling pleasure being as mother of all living, Eve writing stories of my children, Seth being as Will Smith, and Azura being as Robin Birdsong. They are matched. As Cicero, Will Smith wrote many books. As the French writer Voltaire, Robin Michelle Birdsong wrote great books, including Candide, which I read in college, Sunni Empire, which I